Hey, what's going on, world? You already know it's your boy SB, and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Learning with Sauce. As always, I hope you're doing what you got to do to get to where you got to be. Today's conversation is extremely important because, we get on social media every day and we see people winning, we see people achieving their goals, their dreams, doing the things that we wish that we could do. And if we're not careful, we allow that slippery serpent to come in and plant seeds of envy and jealousy in our hearts. We start to mind everybody else's business and we start to lose sight of the blessings that are in front of us. While we're falling for the illusion, we are allowing that negative energy to steal our joy. And this episode is a reminder that it's time that we stop falling for the okie doke and remind ourselves that we can achieve anything that we set our minds to. Again, it's going to take some time, but if we can learn to mind our own business, we will blossom at the right time. So by now, you should know that I love quotes, analogies, and a perspective shifting definition. And the word for today is illusion. By definition, an illusion is a thing that is or is likely to be wrongly perceived or interpreted by the senses. In this context, a great number of people have fallen for the illusion that success, as Will Smith put it, is esoteric and only certain people can become successful. Many people fall for this and they live a life that they were never meant to live, and they only come to grips later on down the line that they fell for the illusion. As we talked about in the first episode, there are a few links to success such as hard work, resilience, persistency, and etc. But the most important of the two are belief and success. Folks will criticize the shit out of you if you had a belief that you can achieve the impossible. Folks will criticize you even more if you start winning. But the best thing that we can do is keep our head down and remind ourselves to be patient in the process and to avoid comparing your journey or our journey to someone else's. What's also interesting but problematic about illusions is that from a distance they seem confusing. But as you get closer, you will see that it's all a mind game. Another reason that makes illusions dangerous is that from the right person, that illusion sounds believable. It sounds almost believable to throw away all your hard work because of temporary discomfort. It sounds almost believable to turn around after you work so hard day in and day out to get to where you got to be and your dream isn't paying off. But let me tell you something. Listening, believing, and seeing these illusions from the wrong angle, they ultimately lead to misjudgment and missed opportunities. In other words, be careful not to get unintentionally swindled by the illusion. If you can't handle the journey or you aren't willing to be patient, then I get it. But I want you to keep in mind, I'm going to say this a million times and I'm going to say it a million more times after that. If you quit right now, you will never get to where you're supposed to be. The process is supposed to be challenging. You're going to face adversity at every level. That's just how it is. Without the ability to adapt and stay focused on the mission, the illusion will always win. And I know this because it happened to me. Many moons ago, I was telling y'all about Team Flat Radio before, but Team Flat Radio was on the rise. I was networking, I was building the right connections, and etc. I felt I was one move away from taking Team Flat Radio into the outer reach of the cosmos. But what I didn't see coming was the campaign completely losing all the momentum. I was pulling in thousands of views a month before that was the norm, and I started to get some credibility. And like a wind blowing out a candle, it was over. For years, I fell for the illusion that I was too old, that I was too late, that I missed my opportunity, and etc. And that all changed when I had the conversation that I'm having with y'all right now. I reminded myself of who I was, and I found something that I was good at, and I got really good at it. And that was out when I was in Arizona, when I was a bud tender. But what helped me tap back into this mode were these 5 words: you're allowed to be happy. For a while, I was miserable because of mistakes that I made, the bridges that I burned, and losing everything that I worked hard for. One night I made a pact with myself that I would never allow myself to get that low again, and ever since then, it's been up. Yes, I have faced adversity at every turn of the journey. But when I gave myself permission to be happy, that the illusion no longer had the power that it once had. Because I'm gonna tell you something right here. Digging yourself out of the hole you put yourself in is never an easy task. But if you keep your happiness, your goals, your plan in the forefront of your mind, it will give you the motivation that you need to keep pushing. Despite the negative voices from those around you or the negative voices in your head, you are allowed to be happy without the fear of something going wrong. You can't change the past and you can't alter the future. The only thing that you can focus on is right now. Practice being mindful by enjoying every waking moment. Thanks to Dr. Bruce Lipton. Again, I don't know him personally. I just study his videos like crazy. And this was one of the topics that changed my life forever. And, Dr. Bruce Lipton and his studies on the subconscious mind, we understand how serious the words that we speak dictate our experiences. If you're unfamiliar with him, I will drop a link in the description that I need you to check out, and it's going to change the way you talk to yourself. But if you rewire the conversation that you have with yourself, you are altering the code, which will lead to better experiences. To rewire your subconscious, 4 things are needed: words of affirmation, positive self talk, unlearning and relearning, and clarity. When we make the decision to change the way we speak to ourselves, removing ourselves from old habits and thought patterns, and learn to see with our heart instead of our eyes, we will be in alignment with our goals. The Power of I Am by Joel Osteen really helped me out in this department as well. Because a lot of people don't believe in affirmations. But if you don't believe in it, then it won't work. When you're in a tough spot, it's important to be mindful in the way that you speak to yourself, in the way that you speak to your situation. Learning to be mentally tough through adversity is very challenging. But by implementing these 4 steps, you will give yourself the mental breakthrough that you're looking for. In order to avoid the illusion, 3 things are needed. You need to stay present, you need to connect with yourself, and you need to believe in yourself. When you can train yourself to stay in the present, you are enjoying life as it is. You can experience a greater altitude of gratitude by simply acknowledging everything around you that you've never noticed. When you reconnect with yourself, your vision is restored and you're able to get back in touch with the real you. You reconnect with yourself by going out to eat alone, learning to appreciate yourself as an individual, and embracing every moment that got to this point. Acknowledging if you want to end up somewhere differently, it starts with your decisions. Ultimately, it all boils down to believing in yourself. And it's time that we reclaim our power and understand that you are beyond capable of achieving your goals. When you believe and there's no room for doubt, there's only room for improvement. If we can successfully do all 3, we will set ourselves free. I decided to make these videos to help illuminate the path for you on your healing journey. But there's also one undeniable truth. While this may seem like a group effort, the journey to your self-improvement is your journey to take. When you break free from the illusion, you are setting yourself free from expectations that were never suited for you. You embrace the expectations that you have for yourself and you honor them through consistency. You are the key to overcoming all the things that you feel are holding you back. The quicker you realize this, the quicker you're able to move past these limitations. The quicker that you realize that the light at the end of the tunnel isn't the illusion, you will do the proper internal work to become the light at the end of the tunnel. Because to bring it all back home, Every day is a learning experience. We owe it to ourselves to change how we view the world, and small, minor adjustments are often the difference between getting legit opportunities and missing opportunities. When we change the environment, the content you consume, and embrace alternate perspectives, you're changing the frequency that you're vibrating on. Don't fall for the illusion of tailoring your life to fit someone else's version of you. Create your own mold and pursue that version of yourself relentlessly. So, with that being said, man, I just want you to set yourself free, man. I want you to acknowledge that you've fallen for the illusion, but I also want you to get in the comments right now. If you made it this far in the video, I want you to comment that you are done falling for the illusion. You are done working on everybody else's timeline and you're working on your timeline. Because there are certain parts of the journey that you can't move past until you learn them. Sometimes you have to learn to be resilient. Sometimes you have to learn how to be persistent. Sometimes you have to know when to keep going. Because like I said, if you give up right now, you'll never get to where you want to be. And I would hate for you to wake up 70 years old and mad that you didn't get a chance to live the life that you lived or that you wanted to live because you was too busy worried about the opinions of other people. So I want you to take this conversation with you as you going throughout your week, you going through the weekend, as you preparing for another week. We getting closer to 2026, man. And I really want everybody to win. I really want everybody to achieve their goals. But I know a lot of people won't do that. I know a lot of people are going to tiptoe around it. I know a lot of people are going to bullshit around it. But you've made it this far in the video, so I know you're not one of them. I know you're not one of them. So what I want you to do is I want you to forgive yourself, fam. I want you to give yourself permission to breathe. I want you to give yourself permission to make moves. And I want you to execute those moves. Nobody can tell you what to do with your life better than you can tell you what to do with your life. So it's time, man. With that being said, that concludes the episode for today. If you enjoyed the message, I want you to get in the comments, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know, man. Let me know how you plan on moving on from the past version of yourself. Let me know how you plan on moving past the illusion and into your own purpose. Be sure to check out the saucebradybooks.com. Make sure you grab a copy of the 3 books that are available. The ebook version of The Power of Belief is available right now, so make sure y'all go grab that. Make sure y'all hit the Sauce Factory and grab you some merch. Make sure you go hit the spot. I got this cool ass little quarter windbreaker right here. I got that on sale at the spot as well. And as always, man, get lifted, stay inspired. It's your boy. Peace.